So hello, welcome back to the next class. Today we are going to start the continuation of training, which is second part of training, that is training needs analysis. This is basically the continuation to the previous class. Okay, so all the topics that we are going to discuss in today's class in particular, that is the second part of training, are mentioned here for your reference. Now let's get into the class. So before directly entering into today's topic, let's have a quick recap of the previous topic or previous class or the previous first part of training. See, in the previous class, we ended with the topic, training framework. We told that this particular, there is this HRD framework as a whole, and all the HRD mechanisms or subsystems or, interventions follow the same framework. And then we move to this particular training framework. We told that, see, training framework is also similar to HRD framework, because training is one of the tool used in order to develop the human resource, right? So we told that this particular framework of training is also similar to the framework of HRD, and we told that in this particular training framework we have four different phases or four different stages. And we told that the first stage is called something called as training needs analysis, which is also called as training needs assessment. The second phase is called as designing a training program, and then implementing the training program, and then evaluating the training program. And we also told that between the first two phases, that means after doing the training needs analysis and before designing a training program directly, the company has certain choice, which is generally referred as make or buy decisions, where the company decides whether to make its own training program within house, or buy a training program from the external environment. That is what we have discussed, and that is where we concluded the last class. Today, in this particular second part of training, we will be starting with the first phase in the training framework, which is training needs analysis. Okay, now see, as I already told you, this entire development concept revolves around gaps, revolves around filling the gaps, or moving an employee from this particular position to this particular position. So entirely depends on the gaps, right? Now I also told you in the previous class, telling that, see, the first and foremost thing that the organization needs to do relating to those gaps is to find a solution to the gaps. Now the organization directly does not go into training. I also told this. The organization first decides, first comes to the conclusion, telling that yes, training is the thing that we need or that we can use in order to deal with these gaps. Then only the organization must proceed into doing the making or buying decisions and all these things. So in the first phase of training framework, we basically do analysis relating to the gaps. That means in the first phase of training framework, we actually try to find out the answer to the question, is training the answer to my gap, or is training the solution that I can use in order to manage or eliminate or reduce the gaps in my organizations. And then if you get yes as an answer, then you have to proceed with the further framework, and if you get no, then you have to choose alternatives other than training. This is what we also discussed in the previous class. Okay, now see, in training framework, the first the first phase is training needs analysis, right? Now here basically we do analysis relating to the training needs in an organization. That means we analyze if there are any training needs, or we analyze if there are any needs relating to training, or we analyze that is training required. Okay, this is what we do in this entire training needs analysis as a whole. I just gave you a summary of whatever we do in this first phase. Now how does, or how organizations basically do this particular training needs analysis? Basically, organization, when an organization is doing training needs analysis means, or basically when we say that an organization is doing training needs analysis, what it basically does is organizations analyze the needs in the organization, or in other terms, the organizations analyze, study carefully about all the gaps in the organization. Okay, and then they try to link that with training. Now see, the thing that you have to keep in mind is telling that, see, when I tell that organizational gaps or gaps in organization, the gaps may refer to so many different things. The gap may refer to production capacity, the gaps may refer to the sales, the gaps may refer to the customers base, the consumer base. In this way, when I say that an organized gaps in the organization, we can actually refer to so many different gaps. But since we are dealing with the subject human resource development, we are talking especially about the gaps relating to human resource in an organization. That is the basic point that you have to keep in mind. Okay, that is a separate point. Now coming back to this topic, see, the first phase is called as training needs analysis, right? So basically in organizations, training needs analysis is done at three different levels. Okay, now if you refer to different sources, you will be, you will be getting different kind of answers to this. When I tell that, we are talking about training needs analysis, I will be telling that there are 3 levels in this particular training needs analysis. If you refer from different sources, you may also have more levels, but this is one of the model that we are going to discuss today, which is called as McGee and Tyer's 3-level analysis, where analysis is done in 3 basic levels. Now this may seem so much confusing to you. I will give you a basic example, then you will understand the concept clearly. For example, you are the principal or you are the head of a college. Now you received complaints from the students telling that the syllabus is not being completed or syllabus is not complete. Okay, just leave all the concept that we have discussed till now relating to training needs analysis. Just keep this example in mind. For example, you are the head or you are the principal of a college and you received complaints from the students telling that the syllabus is not completed or syllabus is not being completed. Okay, that's it. Keep that example in mind. Now the first and foremost thing that you do is, which stream does these students belong to, or which, for example, or MBA or BBA or BTech, which stream does this, or where this particular complaint is coming from in the entire college. That is the first and foremost thing that you do. Keep that here, keep that aside. The second thing that you do is, once you find out that this particular complaint or all these complaints are coming from, for example, MBA second years, what you do, you go to those MBA second years and you actually look at the syllabus schedule. Okay, the schedule, the schedule that telling that, okay, by this time these many units should be completed and by this time these many units should be started and all these things. You will take that schedule and first you will see what is the assigned schedule for these particular MBA second years, and after that you look after all the faculty's status of completion of the syllabus. Okay, now what did we do in this entire example? You are the head or principal of a college and you received the complaints from students telling that the syllabus is not being completed, and the first and foremost thing that you did is, which part of the entire college or which stream or which branch students, from whom are you getting that complaint? That means you are basically pinpointing the location in your entire college from where the gaps are arising, right? So that is the first thing that you do. Second thing what you did is, you went to that particular pinpoint location and you took out all the things according to the schedule, all the things that the organization or the college expects to be, on schedule or to be completed or to be ongoing and all these things, right? That is the second thing that you do. Now what is the third thing? You took out the actual status of, syllabus completion of all the faculties. Now what you do is, now you compare these two things. Now the organization's schedule is this, the college schedule is, syllabus completion schedule is this. Now this is the actual syllabus that is completed. Now you compare these both and then you will come to know which faculty is lacking behind. Okay, now this is basically what organizations do in training needs analysis. Now by comparing the gaps here, you will get to know, right, which faculty, which faculty is falling behind the, syllabus schedule and all these things. From that you basically, from all the gaps that you identify there, from that you can actually try to find out the reasons and then you can decide, right, okay, if I provide training, these gaps can be reduced or these gaps can be eliminated, or even if we give training, there will be no use. In this way you can find out or you can come to the basic decision that training is the solution or not, right? Now this is what happens in training needs analysis. The first part where where the the principal or you, basically the head of the college, tried to pinpoint the location of the gap or try to specify the area where the gaps are arising, is generally called as organizational analysis, where you analyze the entire organization to go to a specific area where the gaps are arising. Now the second level of analysis is where, in this particular example only, you as a head or a principal, you actually go and you actually verify the college schedule, right? That means you actually look after the expected things from the organization, right? That particular level is called as task analysis. Okay, now there is this third level where you go and verify each individual or each faculty's syllabus completion, actual syllabus completion status, right? That is basically called as person or individual analysis. So in organizations, the training needs analysis is done in 3 different levels, and the first level is called as organizational analysis, and the second level is called as task analysis, and the third level is called as individual analysis or person analysis. Now the organizations do all these 3 things in its first phase of training framework, and then come to the conclusion telling that yes, training is my solution, or yes, training can also be used as a solution, or training is not a solution in this case. In this way, this particular training framework, or the first phase in particular of training framework operates. So the entire unit that we are going to discuss today is this one. I just gave you in the form of a simple example. Now this is a college example, right? Now let's take like any organization's example. For example, your company has been receiving negative feedback from the customers. Okay, now this is second example. Okay, now for example, your company has been receiving negative feedback from the customers. Now after analyzing each of that, see, I'm again telling you, here we are talking only about the gaps relating to human resource. Now the customers, the negative feedback from the customers can relate to so many different things. It may be because of the quality of the product, it may be because of the bad marketing strategies and all these things, but here we are talking about all the gaps relating to human resource. Okay, now coming back to the topic. Now in this example, your company has been receiving negative feedback from the customers. Now after doing a research, like why are we receiving all this, all these negative reviews, you came to know that the customers are not satisfied with the customer service department in your organization, the department which communicates, or which contacts the, or who are basically responsible to maintain the connection between the customers and the company relating to any queries relating to the product or services. Okay, now you, after doing analysis, or you after carefully trying to understand why the customers are not satisfied, you came to the conclusion telling that the customers are not satisfied with the customer service department in your organization. That is where you pinpointed, or that is where you specified the area of the gap. Now next you go there, and basically you take out all the tasks that the organizations assign to that particular department, or you basically analyze all the due roles, responsibilities, duties, tasks, and all these things relating to that particular department, and then you take out each and every individual in that department's actual performance. Okay, now you compare these both. For example, while analyzing the different tasks, roles, responsibilities of all the people in that particular customer service department, you came to identify one feature where each and every employee in the customer service department is required to engage in a customer. That means whenever any customer calls for any doubt, you have to talk for minimum 1 minute, if that is one of the responsibility or one of the task of the the job in this particular customer service department. And while analyzing all the individuals performance, and while going through their call records, you came to know that each and every person in this particular in this particular customer service department is just hanging up on customers, telling that okay, customer called and told that, see, I'm not I'm facing a problem, and this particular customer service department person in your organization tells that, sir, we don't know how to deal with that, or we'll give you a call back, and they're just hanging up. Now in this way you are identifying gaps, right? So what you basically do, now based on the gaps, you come to the conclusion telling that okay, these gaps can be eradicated using training, or training cannot justify or satisfy these gaps. In this way you are getting information, right? This is another example of this entire training needs analysis in organization, where you first try to specify the area of gaps, and then you go to that particular area in the second level, where you actually try to take out all the expected things from them, and in the third level you actually take out each and every individual's actual performance, and you compare, and then you come to the decision. This is another example. This is the second example relating to organizations. Now this is the entire concept of training needs analysis, where you analyze if there are any needs of training. Okay, now if you keep this example in mind, now we will be going to the theory part, where we will be reading or learning all the theories related to each and every level in this particular first phase of training framework. So in this entire class, in this entire today's class, we will be learning about this first phase of training framework, training needs analysis in particular, and then we'll also be looking after the process followed by the organizations in conducting this training needs analysis. See, till now I just gave you a basic idea using examples, telling that okay, what generally happens in training needs analysis, and how organizations basically do, what organizations basically do in training needs analysis. There is a certain set of procedure telling that okay, first you have to do this, next you have to do this, and all these things. There also we are referring to whatever we have discussed in examples till now, but that is the more formalized way of telling that okay, first you have to do this, next you have to do this. That is basically the process or the procedure of training needs analysis. So you understood the basic concept, right? This is what is meant by training needs analysis in simple terms. Now let's look at the theory, and in theory we will be looking after so much theoretical concepts, so much general theory, just to give you a basic, another basic idea, or a more clear basic idea, and as well as for your reference. Now, so still fourth unit training, but we are in the second part of training, which is the first phase of training framework, which is called as training needs assessment. Okay, now let's look at the basic definition and certain theoretical concepts, so just for your reference and to give you a more clear picture. See the definition: training needs assessment or training needs analysis is the process of identifying the training needs in an organization in order to improve employees' performance. Okay, that is a simple thing that we have already discussed. Now, before designing any training program, you need to identify the actual learning requirement of the employees in your organization. We have discussed, right? You should directly not get into designing a particular training program. First, you need to know that yes, training, or basically yes, training, I need training, or yes, these gaps, these particular gaps can be dealt using training and all these things. First, you need to have that particular clarity, then only you should directly get into this entire training, designing a training program or providing training to your employees and all these things. First, know that you need training, then you go to providing the training. Okay, now conducting training needs analysis will precisely define the goals of your training project. Okay, now what do you mean by it will basically give out the goals and all these things. For example, we had particular gaps, we had certain gaps related to human resource in an organization. You did training needs analysis, and finally you came to the decision telling that yes, I need training in order to deal with these gaps. Now there only you will also try, you'll also be getting information like what are my goals. Now see, in simple terms, in the example that we have discussed previously, in one example where you are the principal or you are the head of the college, and you have received complaints from the students saying that the syllabus is not being completed or the syllabus is not completed, there you find if for example you, after doing the the needs analysis, you came to the conclusion that yes, the faculty that is dealing to, or the faculty that is assigned to this particular batch of students is a first time faculty, that means he doesn't have any experience. So in that situation, you can tell that if I provide training to this particular faculty, there is a chance that, or basically these gaps will be eradicated. Okay, now while coming to the decision telling that yes, we can provide, or basically we should provide training to this faculty, there only you'll also be getting certain goals telling that okay, I will provide training to this particular faculty so that he could complete the syllabus on time. This is your objective, making him capable of completing the syllabus on time. Now, in what I'm trying to tell is, in this particular training needs analysis phase only, you will also be getting the training goals. Okay, now you need to improve the knowledge, skills and abilities of your workforce consistently to stay ahead in ever competitive world. This is where training and development come into picture. Knowing this, many organizations invest huge amounts in improving the competencies of their employees. Okay, however, most training programs don't yield the desired result. Now we are basically telling that even though most of the companies see this particular training and development as one of the investments, yet most training programs don't yield desired results. Now why is that? See, this is due to the lack of proper training needs analysis. We have initially from the starting, I'm telling you, right? See, most of the organizations directly get into training before even knowing that training is the solution to the gaps. Now we are telling that, see, if you continue keep, or basically if you keep on doing that, for example, whenever you identify a gap without any second thought, if you keep on providing the training, that will at one point of time that will fail. Okay, now first you need to identify the training needs of your employees before giving them training. Now a well conducted training needs analysis will give a comprehensive picture of the employees knowledge, skills and abilities gaps in your organization. Based on this, you can focus training on areas where it is most needed. Okay, now in turn, you can allocate budgets for training and development wisely so that it can bring maximum impact and return on investment to your business. Now the last point in this particular theory is, according to the training theorists, training needs analysis must precede any type of training intervention. Okay, now most of the this particular training theorists tell that, see, training needs analysis should be done first, then only you move to anything related to training. Okay, now this ensures a return on your training investment, minimizes the errors that may follow in training programs, and keep the training effectiveness. So basically, this is just the theory related to this entire training needs analysis. Now, we told that training needs analysis is basically done in 3 levels in organizations, right? Now, let us discuss about that, or let us talk about those 3 different levels in training needs analysis or training needs assessment. That means in the first phase of training framework. Now, see, the 3 levels of training needs analysis. Conducting an effective training needs analysis can help you see the big picture in the corporate learning and development. Okay, there are different approaches to conducting training needs analysis, but one that's commonly followed is Meggy and Thayer's 3-level analysis. Now, we have talked about this initially, right? Now if you just open google.com and if you search for training needs analysis, now, and in particular if you tell that the levels of training needs analysis, if you search this, you will be searching different kinds of models. That means you, in one particular source, you will be having 4 or 5 different levels. In one particular source you will be having different kind of levels, but we have chosen the model which is called as Meggy and Thayer's model of 3-level analysis, where we will be talking about the 3 levels of analysis that is done in this particular first phase of training framework, which is training needs analysis or training needs assessment. Okay, now according to this model, training needs analysis can be done at 3 different levels. The first level is organizational analysis. At the organizational level, to find out where training is needed, that means to specify the point where the gaps are arising and all these things, we do organizational analysis. And the second thing is task analysis. At the operational or task level, to find out the knowledge, skills, capabilities needed to complete the task efficiently. We have discussed in the example, right? And the third one is individual analysis. At the individual level, to determine who needs training and for which task. Okay, so these are the 3 levels in this particular model called as Meggy and Thayer 3-level analysis. That means these are the 3 levels of analysis that happen in training needs analysis or training needs assessment phase. That is the first phase in training. Okay, now let's see what is done at each level of training needs analysis. That means let's look at this, these 3 levels in detail. We have discussed using different examples and we have looked after the basic idea, but just for your reference, let's look at all the theoretical part. Now, the first analysis, organizational analysis, the first level of analysis. Now, while most organizations invest in employee training year after year, not every training program is aligned with the business goals. Okay, so the training needs analysis at organizational level will help you identify training programs that would help you achieve the strategic business objectives of the organization. Just a general point. Okay, now some data sources used to conduct organizational analysis are, that means we told, right, in order to specify the particular location of gaps, you use so much different sources. That means you can basically use the customer reviews, or basically you can use the business goals and all these things. See, some of the data sources used to conduct organizational analysis are business goals, employee inventory, skill inventory, customer satisfaction data, organizational culture, etc. Without knowing the goals of the organization, it is highly impossible to determine if training is actually necessary. Okay, now I told you, right, this entire development concept is relating to gaps, or it is based on gaps. Entire human resource development is based on gaps. Now if you want to know the gaps, that means you have to know the expected standards, right? That is you have to know the organizational goals, right? If you know the organizational goals or expected standards, or basically the standards of the organization required by the organization, then only you will be able to then only you will be able to find the gaps between the present state and the desired state, right? Expected state, right? Now this knowing this expected state is very important in this particular training, entire training or training needs analysis. Okay, now if you go ahead and develop training programs without considering the organizational goals, chances are your training program is doomed to fail. Okay, now training needs analysis at the organizational level is a macro level analysis. That means you are doing analysis overall entire organization. It is basically a macro level analysis that helps you identify areas where the employees of the organization lack necessary knowledge or skills and provides need-based training. It helps to answer the following questions. Now this is the main part that you have to remember. See, each and every level of, or basically each and every level of analysis in this entire training needs analysis serves a particular purpose. Okay, now we have already discussed in this example studying that, see, this particular organizational analysis helps you to pinpoint or specify the area where this particular gaps, or basically the area relating to these gaps, right? That is what, see, it helps to answer the following questions. Where is the training most needed? Is it for a specific department or a group of employees? That means it is basically taking you to a particular location in the organization. And why is the training program recommended as a solution to your business problem? Okay, so basically this entire organizational analysis, to give you a summary relating to this entire organizational analysis, we are basically telling that in throughout the organization, you are basically, this particular organizational analysis is trying to take you to one particular location, one particular group, to one particular department and all these things. Okay, now see, I have written here telling that it is for a specific department or a group of employees or what. See, I am just basically trying to give you the simple simple meaning. Okay, now you don't get confused telling that, see, where is training most needed, is it for a specific department or a group of employees? Now this particular group of employees, we actually get that information in individual analysis, right? You can get this doubt, but here I have just mentioned it, just for your simple explanation. Keep whatever we have discussed, keep the concept clear in your mind. Organizational analysis, task analysis, individual analysis. Organizational analysis pinpoints you to a particular area in the organization where gaps are arising. Now in task analysis, you basically go to that particular area and you take out all the expected things. In individual analysis, you take out each individual's performance. Now once you compare both of them, then you will directly go to exact employee or exact group of employees for whom the, or basically because of whom or who are responsible or who contribute to the gaps that we are identifying. Okay, now don't get confused, because I just read out a point telling that is it for a specific department or a group of employees. Basically I am trying to tell you that this particular overall organization analysis is trying to pinpoint you to a particular location. Now when we talk about individual analysis, now then we will be talking about this particular group of employees in detail. Okay, so don't just get confused. I just wrote that point just for a simple explanation. Now see, training needs analysis at organizational level can clearly define measurable outcomes for a training and thus improve the chances of success of training program. So this is entirely just a basic theory relating to organizational analysis. Okay, now moving to the second level of analysis, which is task analysis, where we discussed during that you go to that particular specific area and you take out all the required or all the things that are expected by the organization, right? Now the second level of analysis, task analysis, where at the operational level or the task or job level, task level analysis is also referred as job level analysis or operational level analysis, just an objective bit. Okay, now at the operational, don't get confused between job level analysis and job analysis. Again, job analysis is an entirely human resource management concept. That is not what we are talking here. We are just talking about job level analysis. That means analysis done at jobs level. Okay, see, at the operational level, also task or job level, training needs analysis determines what kind of training needs to be given to employees to achieve a specific level of proficiency. Now this analysis can help identify the knowledge and skills required to perform specific jobs at a workplace. The data sources used to conduct training needs analysis at the operational or task level are the job description, the job specification, the work performance standards, analysis of operational problems, information from the SMEs, etc. That means here you are basically trying to find out all the information relating to that particular jobs or that particular job. Now here we are, in simple terms, we are basically trying to collect the information telling that okay, in order to perform the task in this particular area, what are the different requirements. Now how will you get that information? You can get it from either the job descriptions or job specifications or the operational problems and all these things. Okay, now task analysis assesses the knowledge and skills required for specific job task. Okay, now from here on, this is a typo, that is this is entirely a next analysis or the third level of analysis point. It's mistyped, so please ignore that. So basically task analysis assesses the knowledge and skills required for a specific job task. Okay, now moving on to the third level of analysis in this entire training needs analysis, that is the first phase of training framework. Now in individual analysis, we have already discussed, right? In individual analysis, relating to all the examples that we have previously discussed, we told that see, we basically look after the each and every individual. That means here we look after the individual's actual delivery, actual performance and all these things. Now individual analysis at the individual or personal level, individual analysis is also called as person analysis. Okay, now at individual or personal level, training needs analysis checks how each employee performs in his or her job role. The difference between the expected performance and the actual performance helps you to arrive at the training needs. See, in the previous level, we actually get the expected standards. In this level, we actually get the actual standards, present standards. Now, is there really a need for training needs analysis at the individual level? Won't employees identify their training needs themselves? After all, they are the ones executing the task and they should know whether they need to improve. But unfortunately, this doesn't happen. Okay, now basically we are trying to tell that, see, in most of the cases, almost in each and every case, organization is the thing which first steps in. okay, relating to all the needs identification and training development and all these things. And usually employees do not are not the basically are not the people who step in first. Why? See, there is a name for this entire concept. What is that? See, according to the Dunning-Kruger effect, there is this effect called as Dunning-Kruger effect. This is no way related, or this is not too much important, but just for your basic idea. According to Dunning-Kruger effect, most incompetent people do not realize that they are incompetent. Okay, and on the contrary, people not very good at their jobs are extremely confident about their abilities, even more than people who do their job well. So this is this entire concept that I have just told you. There is this there is this particular term, or there is this particular dimension which deals with this entire concept, which is generally termed as Dunning-Kruger effect, where most incompetent people do not realize that they are incompetent. On the contrary, people not very good at their jobs are extremely confident of their abilities, even more than the people who do well at their jobs. Okay, now, so a training needs analysis at the individual level becomes absolutely necessary. Okay, so basically employees in most of the cases won't approach. So it is since the organization is responsible for each and everything that is running in the organization, so they only put in the first step. Now, data sources used to conduct the training needs analysis at the individual level are data from their performance appraisals, their work samples, the interviews, questionnaires, assessment of employees' knowledge, skills, abilities, employees and customer survey, etc. See, in each of the level of analysis, we have seen that in this particular level of analysis, the data sources used are. In this particular level of analysis, the data sources used are. Similarly, in individual analysis, you can basically get data from so many different things, like from his performance appraisals, or by directly providing questionnaires, interviews, or basically seeing his work samples and all these things. Okay, you have to keep these points in mind. Now, training needs analysis at the individual level gives you a complete picture of employee performance and whether their performance meets expected standards or not. Okay, so basically this basically this entire training needs analysis is basically conducted at three different levels. These three different levels, once you complete these three different levels, the organization will have a choice telling that okay, these are the gaps. Is training really the thing, or training really the solution in order to manage or reduce or eliminate these particular gaps? It is the organization's choice. Now the organizations decide whether to use training or not. So this particular training needs analysis just gives you the information, or basically gives you the answer to the question, is training my solution? Okay, now let us look at the summary of all the three levels of analysis. If there is any chance for you to get confused, see, these are all the levels of analysis. Okay, these are three levels of analysis and what it does. See, organizational analysis. What organizational analysis does is analyzes the organization wide goals and problems to find out where the training is needed. It actually tries to specify the area where training is needed. Okay, next you have operations or task analysis. Now, it examines the jobs, tasks carefully performed, and the knowledge, skills and abilities that the employees need to attain overall organizational objectives. Okay, so basically this operation or task or job level analysis basically tries to find out all the knowledge, skills, capabilities, each and everything, the employees, the expected standards by the organization. Now you go to the individual or person analysis, where what happens, what it does is it analyzes the actual knowledge, skills and current performance of each employee while performing the task, to determine who needs the training and in which areas. Okay, so combining all the three, we basically refer as training needs analysis. That means you do analysis in these three different areas, or in these three different levels actually, and then you come to a combined combined conclusion or a combined decision, telling that okay, after analyzing all these things, is training a solution, or is training the tool that we require in order to deal, or in order to eliminate, or in order to eradicate these gaps. Okay, so this is the basic first phase of the entire training framework, which is training needs analysis. Okay, now, so next we are going to start the topic, the process of training needs analysis. See, till now we have discussed the different levels of training needs analysis. That means we have we have looked into the topic, telling that this particular topic of training needs analysis, or basically in organizations performing these training needs analysis, means we will actually analyze in three different levels. which is at organizational level, at task level, and at individual level, right? Now, we have completed the topic, put that topic aside. Now we are moving into this particular topic of the process or the procedure of, training needs analysis. That means in an organization, if the, or basically if the organizations want to do this particular training needs analysis, they follow a step-by-step procedure. What is that procedure? We are going to look now. Now, before directly, going into that topic, let me, again give you a quick recap of this entire training needs analysis. See, basically, I told you that, see, in organizations, basically gaps will be there, or basically organizations will identify gaps at some point of time. Now, gaps in organization may refer to so many different concepts, or different departments, or different functions of the organization. For example, you may have gaps relating to the production capacity. You may have gaps relating to investments and all these things. Similarly, you may have gaps relating to this particular human resource in the organization, their their knowledge, skills, their performance, all these things. Okay, now everything related to human resource. So we told that since we are dealing with the subject human resource development, we will consider all those gaps which are related to the human resource in an organization. So the entire organization, or the responsible people in the organization, or the topmost people, or the top management in the organization, when they identify these gaps relating to human resource in the organization, basically they will approach these heads of the human resource, responsible people relating to this particular human resource, and they will tell that, okay, we have been observing these gaps in the human resource, entire human resource in the organization. Can you do something about it? Now these responsible people are there, right? These HR people are there, right? HR heads. Now they will start doing this particular training needs analysis, telling that, okay, there are these particular gaps. Now, can we do anything, or can we do something to these gaps, with the help of training? In this way, they'll start this training needs analysis, and after training needs analysis, they will come to the conclusion telling that, oh yes, we can manage these gaps using training, or no, we cannot manage these gaps using training. We have to look after some other alternative. Like for example, you can look after reward program, that is basically any compensation strategies, or we can also use counseling, we can also use motivational programs in this way. Now, when this particular training needs analysis gives you the answer yes, telling that yes, training is the solution to this, or basically training is the solution to manage these gaps, it is basically giving you the detailed answer, or detailed solution, telling that who all require training, when the training has to be provided, why training has to be provided, in what way training will help to manage these gaps, and what are the different things in which you have to give training. In this way, this particular training needs analysis justifies the statement, yes, training is the solution to my answer. You'll not just come to the conclusion, random conclusion, telling that, okay, yes, training will be helpful. No, it will give you a detailed detailed descriptive answer, telling that yes, training is required, and in this way, in this area, or to these kind of people in this particular task, and all these things, you will be getting detailed answer relating to that one statement, telling that yes, training is the answer. Or in in other scenario, you will be getting the information telling that no, training is not the answer. In that situation, you will actually go to different alternatives. So this is the basic recap I want to give you right before proceeding to the last topic in today's class, which is the procedure of training needs analysis in organization. See, basically this particular procedure contains 6 steps. Okay, now let's look at what are the different 6 steps of this procedure of training needs analysis. So these are the 6 steps for conducting a training needs analysis. Okay, the first step is defining organizational goals. The second one is prioritizing the competencies, defining required KSS, identifying the present KSS, identifying the gaps, and feedback. Now, let us have a quick explanation regarding to this entire steps or entire process of training needs analysis. See, now we have been discussing this from the starting, telling that, see, organizational goal, having goals before directly getting into this particular training needs analysis or whatever it is most important thing. See, I already told you this entire development concepts rotates around gaps, right? See, I told you that, see, your present level of performance, or present level of knowledge, skills, capabilities, whatever it is here, and using this development concept, you want to move this ahead. Okay, so basically we are talking about the expected level and the actual level, the expected standard and actual standard. And we told that using this development concept, or this entire development concept revolves around managing these gaps between the expected level and the present level, right? Now the first step is defining organizational goals. The first step that what we actually learn in the first step is it is very important that you always need to have goals before you start anything. See, we have also discussed this, telling that, see, before directly entering into training or before directly entering into any human resource development, intervention or mechanism, you need to have goals. That means you need to have a question telling that, okay, what do I, or what am I willing to achieve, or what do I need to fulfill, what are my objectives, why am I doing this? So the first and foremost thing, or the first and foremost step in the entire process of training needs analysis is finding the organizational goals. For example, we have discussed so many examples today, right? For example, we took that, okay, you are the principal or you are the head of the college and students are complaining, telling that, syllabus is not being completed. There your goal should be, see, your goal should be achieving a state or coming to a state where no student complains telling that syllabus is not complete. Okay, in this way you need to have a goal that you want to achieve using either this training. See, we did not yet know that yes, training is the answer to the question, or training is the only thing that we need, or training is the only thing that we can use in order to manage the gaps. But no, but still you need to have your goals. Okay, you need to know why are you actually, or basically you need to know what is your desired state, or what is your what is your plan that you want to, or not even plan, what is the objective, what is the goal that you want to achieve. Okay, now that is the first and foremost thing that you need to have. That is what this particular first step in the process of training needs analysis tells, that is defining the organizational goals. Next, the second step is prioritizing competencies. See, in order to achieve the goals in the organization, the desired or the expected goals here we are talking them, in order to achieve them you need to have certain competencies, or certain competencies play a very important role. For example, see, if you are working in a customer service department, or if your entire organization is a customer service, customer services providing kind of company. Now the main, one of the main core competency in order for that organization to function is relationship building. Okay, now these kind of competencies, or see, there will be so many different competencies that are required in order for that entire organization to perform. Now what we will do in this, in this second step is we will take out all the different competencies, and we will choose out, or we will pick out the very important competencies. Okay, so that is the second step. And in the third step of this process of training needs analysis, which is defining required KSAs, knowledge, skills, abilities, and all these things. See, the first step is organizational goals, having organizational goals. The second step is finding out or prioritizing all the important competencies that are required in order to manage these goals, or in order to reach these goals and all these things. This is the second step. Now in the third step, what are we telling? That we are telling that, see, we have to know what are the required knowledge, skills, abilities, capabilities, all these things, what are the required things in order to achieve these competencies. Okay, now if you have all the things that you need to achieve these competencies, then only you will be able to achieve the goals, right? So you need to prioritize, or basically not even prioritize, you need to have all the list of all the required knowledge, skills, capabilities, abilities, potentials, each and everything related to how to achieve these particular competencies. Okay, now this is in the third step. This is, we are talking about the third step here. We are actually trying to know all the things that are required. Okay, in the fourth step, that is identify the present KSAs, knowledge, skills, abilities, capabilities, and all these things. In the fourth step, what you do is you actually identify what are actually present. In the third step, the previous step, what do we actually need? In the fourth step, what do we actually have? In the fifth step, what you do is you just simply find the gaps. Okay, now once the organization comes to know about these gaps, it will it will definitely have an idea telling that yes, training is a solution, or basically, okay, we can use training in order to deal with these gaps, or there are no gaps for which training could contribute. In this way, basically, once the organizations knows these gaps, it will basically get a clear picture or clear idea telling that will training be the solution, or will training not be the solution. If training is not the solution, they will try to choose some other alternatives apart from training. Now if training is the solution, now they will be looking after, or basically, see, when they came to the conclusion telling that training is the solution in order to manage, or in order to deal with the competencies gap, or in order to deal with the goals that we need to achieve, the organization will by then only it will have a clear picture about who all require training, at what time training should be given, why training, why only training, and why not other different alternatives, why only training, how this training will help. In this way, the organization will have a particular clarity, and then after that it will enter, before directly moving to the next stage, which is designing. We already discussed training, right? See, between the first phase, that is between the training needs analysis and between the second stage, which is designing the training program, there is a small concept called as make or buy decisions, right? Now the organization, after getting to know that yes, training is the required thing, now after that it will basically look after different make or buy decisions, and after that if it thinks that we have to make the training program in our organization, then basically the organization moves forward to the second step or the second phase in the entire training framework, which is designing the training program. Okay, that is what is the last step, which is feedback. That is where the the organization or basically feedback is provided relating to all the things that are identified here. So this is the 6-step process or 6-step procedure of the training needs analysis, which is defining the organizational goals, prioritizing competencies, or finding out all the core competencies or all the very important competencies that are required in order to fulfill the organizational goals or all organizational objectives, or dealing with the gaps, and then defining all the required knowledge, skills, capabilities, abilities, potential, each and everything in order to deal with those competencies, or in order to achieve those competencies, or in order to deal with the gaps, overall organizational goals and each and everything. And then after that we basically identify what we actually have. Previously we identified what we actually need, and now we we are identifying what we actually have. And then in the next step we will actually be looking after the gaps between these two things. In the last we will be providing feedback and telling that okay, this is all, this is the entire thing that, or basically this is the entire analysis, or basically this is the entire report of the analysis, and based on all these things the organization will move forward. So today in this part, which is the second part of training, where we discussed about the first phase in the training framework, which is training needs analysis, we have discussed about the basic meaning of training needs analysis, why training needs analysis. After that we discussed about the different levels of training needs analysis, telling that see, training needs analysis in organizations is performed at various different levels. We have looked after each of those levels, and then we move to the concept of what is the process or what is the procedure of training needs analysis. That means what is the step-by-step procedure that organizations follow in order to conduct this training needs analysis, right? Now we will be stopping here, and in the next part we will be discussing, we are going according to an order, telling that okay, there is this training framework which has 4 different phases. So in the first part of training we just looked after the introduction and the framework of training and all these things. Now from the second part onwards, our basic focus is on the training framework. That means we are going to discuss each and every phase of training framework in different parts. Okay, now in the next concept, in the next video, we will be discussing about the second phase in the entire training framework, which is designing the training program. Now we'll stop here and we'll continue in the next class. Thank you.